Hi everyone, welcome back to Newegg TV. I'm Joanne, and today I'll be doing an overview on this Razer BlackWidow Ultimate Chroma mechanical gaming keyboard featuring the Razer green switches. Here's what you get in the box, the keyboard itself, which I'll go over in more detail in just a bit. But first, let's go over the documentation. Inside this nice package, we have, let's see, of course, a user guide. Inside, it details what the keys are, the port functions, and the extra function commands are. And here, you get some Razer stickers. And normally, they would either be wet green or no color, but these are kind of rainbow effect, VC. And then you also get this "there's no turning back" notification. I see these in every one of Razer's products, and exclusive rewards for the Razer faithful. So go ahead and check out their website to see how you can get in on that. And as to the keyboard itself, let's go over the cabling first. You do get some thick braided cable and two USB ports. One is for the keyboard, should say Razer, and the other port for the USB pass-through port. And you also get headphone and mic pass-through jacks so that you can go ahead and plug in a headset directly into the keyboard, which is really nice. Now, one thing I would like to go over before going over the keys are the dimensions. So this keyboard, it measures 18.5 inches along this edge, or 469 millimeters, and 7.2 inches along this edge, or 182 millimeters, and it's about 1.5 inches tall, or 38 millimeters, and it weighs in at 3.3 pounds, or 52 ounces, which is pretty standard for a full-size keyboard. And it's made of this matte black finish so that it's less prone to fingerprints, but it's not going to completely, get rid of those if you happen to handle your keyboard quite a bit. This is a standard QWERTY layout with a full numpad, and this keyboard is fully programmable, and you get an additional 5 macro keys, which is awesome. That just really ups the programmability factor. Also, this is a 10-key rollover, and let's go over some of the alternate commands using the function key. So holding this down, you can access the volume control. There is a mute, as well as your other media keys, and this is a macro on the fly. I'll talk a little bit about that in just a bit. And then you have your game key, which will disable your Windows key, or as well as Alt-Tab, Alt-F4. You'll have to configure that in the software. And F11 and F12 are the brightness adjust for the LEDs. And one last function command is the pause break is the sleep command. Here's a look at the bottom of the keyboard, and you get some rubberized feet in 5 areas to help keep this unit in place when you are using it, as well as some angled feet if that is your preference. And I am going to show you where the USB pass-through port is and the headphone and mic jacks. I've removed some keycaps here for you so you can get a look at that nice white backplate. It's to really help the LEDs pop. And let's take a closer look at the green switches. So these are clicky and tactile with 50-gram actuation force, and they most resemble the MX Blues, and these are rated for 60 million keystrokes. Alrighty, let's take a look at the LEDs. So right now they're on off. We're going to use function F12 and increase the intensity. As you can see, it is very bright, which is something I really like about this keyboard. And if you look in this section here, I'm going to go ahead and hit the caps lock, the scroll lock, and the num lock, and they definitely appear in the right corner of this keyboard. Also, if I hit function F10, the game mode will be on. That means it should definitely disable your Windows key. And also the macro key. So what you do is you go press function macro, and then let's say we're doing ASDF. And then function macro again and assign it to 2. And it should definitely be assigned to that key. And that is how you do macro on the fly with this keyboard. Very cool. And that covers it for the features, but I do wish to go into more about the lighting. Here's a closer look at the different colors and lighting patterns for this keyboard. Right now we are on static, but let me toggle through all of them. So there is breathing. You can make it breathe 2 different colors, so just wait for it. Ta-da! It's a little bit slow, but yeah, there you have it. And there's also reactive. So in this mode, you just type on the keyboard and the lights will appear. You can even change the duration too, which is very awesome. And then there is spectrum cycling, which will cycle through all of the 16.8 million colors, or try its best to, but we're not going to wait until it cycles through all of them. And also there is wave. Now this one's cool. Look at it's the rainbow effect. Love it. You can also make the wave go in a different direction. Ooh, very cool. We're going to go back to this direction, however. And last but not least is custom. I kind of made it look Christmassy because red and green are quite opposing, so I really wanted to show you that. And of course I just did the WASD as well as the arrow keys, and they even have templates, for example, for FPS gaming. They have it for MMO, you could set the different colors, I'm sure, RTS and the like. So there's a look at the different colors. Here's a look at the BlackWidow Chroma keyboard software, and it's just like any other Synapse 2.0. It's all connected into this cloud software program, and I think it's great because it's really easy to use. So let's select a profile. I've already created P1 and P2. You just select it to go into it, and if you wish to create a new profile, simply hit the new, and we're just going to call this P3, and then it'll just save the name automatically, as you can see. And if you wish to delete, simply hit the delete and yes. And you could also copy, import, or export other profiles, or create shortcuts for them and link a program. For example, if you have a game or something that you would like to link this profile to, that would be great. Here's where you can customize your keyboard. Like I said before, it is all customizable, definitely including these special M keys. We're actually going to assign it to, actually no, let's assign it to R. So I want to assign, let's see, you could do keyboard, mouse function, macro, switch a profile, or even disable, but we're going to go ahead and do a macro. And we are going to have a new macro and call it M6. And then we're going to record 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and stop record. And I love that you can have the delay option or not, and go ahead and save it to this key, and we have M6. And once again, you can go ahead and disable it or set it back to default if that's not what you want. And let's go to lighting. This is where you could change up all different kinds of lighting. You could switch off all lighting when display is turned off as well, change the brightness by sliding this bar, and the effect, and here's the color. So right now we're on static, but if you go into breathing, you could change it to any other color you want. For example, white or random color, and also there's a custom. So let's say I want the background color to be red, and then I want the tool, I want to make some of these keys green. I just click onto the green keys, and that's all you have to do, and you'll have those colors. Or you can use the eraser and erase them. Also, you could choose to have a template that they've created for you for RTS games, for FPS games, for MMOs. I mean, there's just a lot of option here, and it's really easy to use. And also, let's go on to another one. There's reactive lighting. You could change just the single color, as well as spectrum lighting. That you can't change the color, but it just toggles through all of them, as well as wave. You could change the direction. I've shown you in the LED demo. And let's go back to custom, shall we? So if you don't want the color palette that's available here, you could just click the bottom, and you can select whatever color that you would like. And that is a tutorial on the lighting effects. Here's the gaming mode of the software. You can turn it on or off, and on default you have the Windows key, but you can also disable the Alt F4 and Alt Tab keys. Here's a look at the macro section. So you can create macros here as well, and we're going to call this M7. And you can record delay or a certain amount of time delay, as well as no delay, but we're just going to do record delay automatic. And go ahead and hit record, ASDF, and stop. And here's something interesting, insert. If you press insert, you could choose to delay before a certain amount of time, or let's do keystroke before. And you could record, and you'll notice before the F, if I do WE and stop record, the WE comes before the last F. And this could be really useful if everything was perfect and you just wanted to change something or the like. This is very cool. And we're gonna go ahead and save, and that macro has been saved. So that is a tutorial on the macros. That wraps up the overview on this Razer BlackWidow Ultimate Chroma Mechanical Gaming Keyboard. I'm Joanne. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and leave a comment. Thanks for watching Newegg TV, and I'll see you next time.